There we go. We missed all of our preamble up to this point. The video's nothing.
It's okay.
I'm going to have to edit out so many of your coughs into the microphone again, too.
Or just keep them.
No, I try and edit them out. They're so loud. All right.
It's funny.
It is funny, but 1, 2, 3, play. Jack, there's so much place in the world, and there's less time because you have to spread it extra thin over the places like butter, so hurry up, we gotta get out of this room.
Hello, lady. Hello, TV.
Jack, help me get out, we need to do this.
Hello, violence.
Now, remember to hold your breath real long. No, not knives.
Hello, knife.
Remember to play dead, okay, Jack?
Yeah,
Play dead, not real dead. And then when we come to a stop, when you get out of the room, run. Run to the nearest person you can see, okay? Can you do that for me, Jack?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi. What's up?
What's up?
Seth's been on every episode since June until these last two.
He's gone missing.
He's gone
from the face of the earth.
He's stuck in room.
He's stuck in room. A common misnomer for the movie we're actually doing today.
Yeah, if you listen to the end of Love on a Leash when we had Kelly on, she mistaked it. Everyone mistakes it. But this is one that I think we waited too long to probably do for a podcast about good, bad movies.
Yeah, I think this one's a staple in the community. A cult classic. Sort of your beginner's guide to these types of movies that we often enjoy.
It's the Ned's Declassified podcast survival guide movie.
That'd be cool. But didn't they have a movie?
I don't think they did. They have their own podcast now, though. All three of them. Ned,
really?
Mose, and Cookie. Yeah.
About Coconut Head.
Coconut Head. He might be a guest sometime, but he's not one of the hosts.
He's not involved.
No. I got some questions
Seth.
for you before we start. No Seth, no Devin, no guests.
I'm sick.
It's just the two of us.
Yeah, and so it's like 1.5. Because I'm sick.
You're sick. You're hyped up on Dayquil. Get hyped.
Yeah, but
hear that sickness.
This is a type of movie that you got to power through for.
Yeah. And I thought Seth was going to be able to, but sadly, alas, he's not. But we'll hope to have him next week on Monster Trucks. So I got some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
My first question is, do you like classic, like, guy time, dressed up in, like, suits and tuxedos, but playing football?
Yeah. Oh, you know me.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
That's guy time.
That is guy time. Doing the boy stuff.
Yeah.
My other question for you here is, do you like unfaithful relationships?
No.
Usually not. Yeah, that's usually
Unless
not
I'm
a good thing.
Part of it. Sometimes it can be entertaining on the outside.
But if you're inside it, boo.
Yeah, it's not a great time.
No, it's a bad. You could say bad time.
Yeah.
You could be playing football in tuxedos instead of getting cheated on. I love it. With the boys. Well, if you answered, I love the football and tuxedo kind of thing. We probably should have played some football at my wedding, or something.
We could have. It would have been. It was pretty hot out, but
it was like 102. Yeah, but actually, I think that day was cooler. It was like 94.
Yeah, I barely sweat.
You sweat so much that day?
Oh, yeah, every day.
And you fainted, or almost fainted.
Calories. Yeah.
But no, I don't usually like the cheating aspect of things, especially when you're on the receiving end. But
Yeah.
yeah. But if you answered yes to liking either of those things, you've come to the right place because this is the good, the
Movies.
bad, and in the movies. And this week we watched the 2003 film, cult classic, good, bad staple, The Room.
Yes. Tommy Wiseau's auteur masterpiece.
Not
It's
to
kind of
be
hard to find.
Oh, it's so hard. It's not on any streaming services.
Yeah, I think because they were having a shot of the Disney store, I would imagine that they own that they said you can't show that. So we watched it on archive.org.
Archive.org. Yeah, you can't even buy it on like Prime or anything either.
It's like a public library though, you can.
I was trying to look at like all these videos, like sites that are like stream here, and then I'd click on it, it's like this video is private to users only. It's like fuck, it was nowhere. But not to be mistaken
Adds
with
to its mystique.
Room from 2016.
The Brie Larson flick, directed by the director of Frank, Lenny Abrahamson.
Yeah. Jacob Tremblay, where he got his start. Lucas played a great Jacob Tremblay character in our opening, so
Thank
good
you.
job there.
Thank you.
Knife. Hello, Knife.
I was trying to go for like a Megan thing there at the end. Mithrigan.
A what?
A new horror movie, Megan.
Oh, yeah.
Mithrigan.
Yeah. So The Room, 2003. Drinking. Seth's not
Why was
here.
it called The Room?
I don't fucking know why it's called The Room.
Weird title.
I think I found it somewhere in my in my history or facts, but I did this script last Monday, so I don't remember. I only did the user reviews a couple hours ago, but other than that, I did all this last Monday, so I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm not drinking anything. I've got a Coke from Arby's.
I got
Arby's
some water.
Sponsoring this episode today.
I got some Dr. Pepper Diet cream soda, 0 sugar.
Diet Zero Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then
that's the longest name ever.
Some Cheez-It Puffs.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice. And it's Oscars. It's Oscar night, guys. So hope you guys got your ballots ready. It's a big night for a movie podcast.
The biggest. Maybe.
Hope you guys get your picks right.
Not me. I hope I win, Brandon.
That's what I'm saying. You hope they get their picks wrong and you get the most right.
Yep. We're having a big pool with all our listeners.
And before we get into it, what are you thinking is best picture of the year?
Everything Everywhere All at Once, of course.
Me too. I think so.
I think that's what's gonna win. I think that's what should win.
It was so crazy, so original. Marina gave it she said somewhere between a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, she didn't get it. She didn't get hot dog fingers.
That's what I said. Oh, the rocks. Oh my God.
The rocks make you cry.
I cried so much. But so this is The Room. Let's get into it. You already mentioned our director, our writer, our lead actor, our producer, our executive producer, our creator, Tommy Wiseau.
What a creative force in this movie.
And so his writing and directing filmography is the same. He's done a short called Homeless in America. He did 8 episodes of something called The Neighbors. And he's got
I think that's with Greg Sestero.
Mark?
Yeah.
And then he's got, who is also a producer of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got an upcoming project coming up called Big Shark.
Yes, I think he was also in a movie directed by Greg Sestero called Best Friends, but the R is in parentheses, so it's Best Fiends as well. That I found.
Okay.
He's an odd guy.
He very. What is his accent?
Name. I think he's Polish, but a lot about him is unconfirmed.
Oh, hi guys.
Yeah.
And he is our lead actor. Like I said, he's the only writer, only director. Same filmography there. He's our lead actor. He plays Johnny. You got Juliette Danielle playing Lisa, who showed her boobs so much in this movie.
A lot of boobs.
Luckily, the HP or like the it was so pixelated, our version, that you could barely see it anyway.
Luckily, I want to see some of that.
You got Greg Sestero playing Mark. You got Philip Haldeman. You got Carolyn Minogue, Robin Paris, Mike Holmes, and Dan Janjigian.
Yeah, like these horrific movies, oftentimes we don't know a single soul in the cast.
Nope. Don't know anybody. I've obviously heard of the name Tommy Wiseau just from the notoriety, but that's it.
Yeah, the subject of The Disaster Artist, this whole movie.
Yes.
I'm sure that's
I
one of
had
their bits.
Yeah, I had heard of The Room previous to that, but I wasn't really privy to all of its cult following until the James Franco film, The Disaster Artist, came out, kind of spoofing it in a way.
Yeah, or trying to tell a story about it. I don't know. James Franco got canceled.
He did. He did? He did.
He did.
Um
He's hanging around with Seth Big Dog and spiking girls' drinks.
and Seth Rogen.
And Seth Tigner.
And yes, of course, that is Seth Big Dog. They love spiking girls' drinks. Sorry,
Yep.
Seth. um,
He
trying
should
to
say
throw you
something.
under the bus there. Yeah, he should. And then a plot for this movie. Like we said, we don't know why it's called The Room, but Johnny is a successful bank executive who lives
Is he?
quietly. I think so. Who lives quietly in a San Francisco townhouse with his fiancee, Lisa. One day, setting aside any scruples, Lisa seduces Johnny's best friend, Mark. From there, nothing will be the same again.
What a plot. Scruples. Scruples. I've never heard
That's
that
the, that's
thought
the one
before.
that's the one takeaway I had when I read it too. I was like, oh shit, scruples?
That's a good word.
It's getting scrupulous up in here.
It was kind of an interesting plot, honestly, for the movie. I didn't think it would go the ways it went.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
I think it could be, with a better direction and whatnot, actually have the idea have some legs behind it to be something good.
So you're going to award his writing, but not his other aspects.
No, the writing was also trash. Just the concept, the idea of it. The dialogue is super cheesy.
Yeah.
That
is Jesus.
Bless you. And then there's some history for you. I got a decent amount. The Room, 2003 American independent romantic drama film, written, produced, executive produced, directed, and starred in by Tommy Wiseau. He originally wrote The Room as a play in 2001 after seeing the film The Talented Mr. Ripley. That was his inspiration.
That's hilarious.
And my mom loves that film, so she has to love The Room.
Of course.
He then adapted the play into a 540-page novel, which he was unable to get published.
Oh.
So he was super frustrated and instead decided to adapt the play into a film, producing it himself in order to maintain creative control. The work was repeatedly intended to be semi-autobiographical in nature, according to Wiseau. The title alludes to the potential of a room to be both the site of good and bad events.
What? What room? Which room?
Their living room? The roof? That's not a room, really. I don't know. I don't think mostly everything took place either in their bedroom or that living room area or the roof.
That doesn't make any sense. And everything can be good or bad.
Yeah, the stage play from which the film was derived was so-called due to its events taking place entirely in a single room as well. So that one at least works a little better. But originally shown only in a limited number of California theaters, The Room quickly became a cult film due to its bizarre and unconventional storytelling, technical and narrative flaws, and Wiseau's off-kilter performance. Although he had retrospectively described the film as a black comedy, audiences have generally viewed it as a poorly made drama, an opinion shared by most of the cast. And although the film was a box office bomb, sales and notoriety significantly increased in later years.
Yeah, I think it's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing almost now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dress up like it and sing along to the lines and shit.
And then the other little part that I have here is that The Disaster Artist, which is Sestero's memoir of the making of The Room, Greg Sestero, executive
Yes.
producer and actor Mark, was co-written with Tom Bissell and published in 2013. And then the film of the same title, based on the book, directed and starred by James Franco, was released on December 1st of 2017. Both the book and film received widespread acclaim and numerous award nominations. And the film has been adapted into other media such as books, or The Room, the film, has been adapted into other media such as books, films, video games,
How?
live performances, web series, and musicals.
Can't fathom a Room video game. Some interesting stuff in there, though. I think an interesting question
I gotta get home and fuck my wife.
What? I think the interesting question is, who's done more evil in this world then, James Franco or Tommy Wiseau?
What James Franco get canceled for again?
I think underage girls. I think like 16-year-olds.
I mean, I'm guessing that Wiseau probably doesn't have like much true evil. It's just this kind of piece of crap. I know. He does look sketchy.
Does look a lot like James Franco.
I'll tell you this right off the bat. Marina watched this with me. She's like, "Isn't this a scary movie?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, I wasn't going to watch it with you, but now I guess I will." So she was watching it with She confused it with that film we watched after we watched Doll Man, Circle. Remember when we were watching Circle?
A little bit, yeah.
I was super hungover, and it was
a bad movie.
All the people in the room, and they had to decide who to kill.
That was
Alex got really invested in it with me.
Yeah. That movie sucked.
She thought it was that, but you just don't get that movie.
Oh, I got it plenty.
But Marina, the instant she heard him talk, she's like, "Does he have autism? Is he autistic?"
Probably.
I was like, "I don't know, maybe." She's like, "No, he has Down syndrome." She pointed at the screen. She's like, "Look at him." And I was like, "I don't think so." She's like, "I'm pretty definitely sure that he might have Down syndrome."
Can she diagnose
or at least
people?
Autistic. She cannot. We've already talked about this. She cannot diagnose people as a special education teacher.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, she made some bold claims right off the bat. But then she stepped off the Down syndrome train a little bit and just went on with the autism thing for the majority of the movie.
It's always nice to step off the Down syndrome train. Yeah.
Choo choo.
Yeah, exactly.
All aboard the Down syndrome train. So yeah, lot of stuff with this, and it was a box office bomb. So let's guess budgets.
Time to guess that budget, bitch.
Skibbity babbity boo, bitch, bitch, bitch,
bitch.
The budget, bitch.
It's
the
budget
bitches.
Bitch.
Yeah. We could still come
Trademark.
up with good, unique stuff. Yeah, of course. Copyright that.
Seth. We desperately need him. I think I know the rumor of this movie's budget. I think it's $6 million.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Got it.
Inexplicably.
6 million is a ton of money. And I don't
self-financed.
Yeah. I don't have an opening weekend for you. It was only in those select few California theaters, but I do have US and Canada and worldwide for you.
This is going to be tough. I'm going to say 1.5 million.
For US and Canada?
I don't have a clue though. I genuinely don't have a clue. Yeah.
It's $549,602.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, $550 worldwide?
I'll say 1.5 again.
It's 4.99 million. Almost made 5 mil, which means it still did not make back its budget. It was $1 million short, but
I think it's probably making money every year for Mr. Wiseau.
Yeah.
You know, he sunk $6 million way back, and I can't believe that that's true. First off, but then I don't know. I guess
it's an investment.
I've read some interesting stuff about this movie too. So some people think it's a money laundering front.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he just bought all of the cameras and equipment and stuff instead of renting it like a normal film studio would.
He also did that, yeah.
Is that in your Cat's Facts? Am I just ruining all that?
I think I took that out. He
He did.
I took this out, but he wanted to be the first ever person to film on HD digital and 35 millimeter at the same time to
What a
give
psycho.
and then play them simultaneously to give the viewer this crazy viewing experience. But then
What
he
a
didn't
psycho.
realize that the two different cameras filmed differently and needed different lighting and different mics and all that. So he bought all these things. He spent over $100,000 just on this HD camera.
Oh yeah, or
So
more.
yeah,
I guess we can get to the
but
facts now, or I guess we gotta do the tagline. I
but like
always skip the tagline.
I do think that with the almost 5 million worldwide, this is an investment that he's making money on nowadays still, for sure.
Yeah, royalty checks somehow.
As a cult classic. Um
Reputations.
there were so many taglines and I narrowed it down to 6 of them. I think there were
Jesus.
13.
How?
I don't know, but these are amazing, and I'm sad Seth's not here to read them because some of them are weird. The first one, a film with the passion of Tennessee Williams.
What?
It's got the passion of Tennessee Williams, duh.
What the fuck? Invoking Tennessee Williams?
Yep, it invokes it. Next one, can you really ever trust anyone?
Ooh.
It's good.
No, sir.
Next one, once you go in, you never go out.
What?
Or you never come out.
They
Because it's
always
the
come
room.
out. Yeah.
It's the room. You're stuck in it.
They leave. There's a door.
The proverbial room. It's in your head, man.
There you go.
Next one. You know what they say. ... Love is blind.
What? A quote from the movie, I guess. But
It doesn't fit.
Blind. Yeah.
Next one is, do you understand life? Do you?
What a question. I don't know.
This is supposed to like invoke thoughts of like existentialism and where you are in your own life. Okay? And the last one. The last one. Are you ready to see the reflection of your own life? Enter the room and leave forever changed.
That's like a circus sideshow tent.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly. It's like the circus show that you go in where it's all the misfits that you see.
The freak
you
show.
see the freak show. You see the bearded lady. You see.
Yeah, you see the bearded lady. You see the alligator wearing a dress.
You see Lyle Crocodile. Yeah.
Yeah. The elephant man.
You see the person with all the piercings, all that shit. But tagline, which one's your favorite? There's 6 of them.
Oh.
I think it has to be. Can you ever really trust anyone?
Yeah, I like the absurdity of not leaving the room.
Once you go in, you never come out.
That wasn't an element to the movie.
I like, do you understand life? Do you?
Do you?
Yeah, love is blind. I don't know. Do we have anything better of our own?
I don't know. The room. Make the room in your heart.
I was gonna say make room in your heart for this film. Damn. We were on it there. Room. Boy, is this roomy. Roomba. The Roomba.
Roomba. Yes. Vroom.
Watch this movie sweep at the Oscars. The Roomba.
Good movie.
Good movie. Where a vacuum sucks people up.
I think the one we were on in sync with should be the tagline.
It should be. Yeah.
Make the room in your heart.
Yeah. All right. Facts time.
The facts.
The facts. Room facts.
Yeah, room facts.
Wiseau facts.
You can never leave the facts. You're tearing
what about
a fax?
That's what I was just about to say. You're tearing me a fax, Lisa.
That's a good one. Oh, high
Or
facts.
oh, high facts was the other one that I was going to do. I think we have to do one of the
We're on it
signature
today.
quotes. Oh, high facts, or you're
Oh,
tearing
high
me a facts.
facts.
Oh, hi, facts.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, facts. I think
Oh,
that's it.
high facts. Yeah.
Oh, hi, facts. All right, let's do
Yes.
some.
Yes.
Ohio facts.
Ooh.
They're all about Ohio, the Buckeye State. March Madness is coming up.
I think in 15 minutes.
What?
That's when the selection show is. I'm gonna
Oh,
have my kids fill out brackets, and we're gonna do writing assignments about which mascot would win in a fight.
nice. That's how Marina chose her winner last year, was based on which mascot would win in a fight. She had the UAB Dragons winning it all.
Yeah.
It was the
Good choice.
14 seed. Congratulations on your teaching job.
Oh, thank you. Staying at Mission, where my heart and soul roams. The
In that
mountains.
room.
That room.
In the
Yes.
room. All right. Fact number 1. Tommy Wiseau claims to have financed the film by importing and selling leather jackets from South Korea, but he has consistently refused to elaborate on this.
There's no way that's true, first off. I like how he's kind of like um, Werner Herzog in this way, and it seems like he just lies about everything, so you can't ask him what the fact is on something because it's not going to be the fact.
Like
I like that.
$6 million worth of South Korean leather jackets?
You can't do that. There's no way.
The best salesman of all time.
He's just full of shit.
Which is why everybody thinks it's a money laundering, because he won't elaborate on it. Next, Mark, played by Greg Sestero, was named after Matt Damon.
Not how that works.
According to Sestero, Tommy Wiseau was obsessed with the actor Matt Damon, but somehow misheard his name, thinking it was Mark Damon. Coincidentally, there is a notable producer named Mark Damon. Whether Wiseau confused the two is unknown, though.
He doesn't know the other one. It's just,
No,
again,
not at all.
sort of like the James Wynn thing. Wiseau is just kind of a crazy guy, but mostly he doesn't speak English, it seems. English is not his first language.
But I don't know what his first language is.
I don't know. He might have forgotten it by now.
Yeah, probably. Next. Tommy Wiseau was so pleased with the sex scene footage that he wanted all of it in the film. Before editor Eric Chase managed to reach a compromise with him. The first sex scene between Johnny and Lisa was nearly 6 minutes before it was cut nearly in half, with the remaining footage used to create a second love scene later in the film.
That's insane.
I was trying to find
like 20%
this.
Sex scenes.
There were 11 minutes worth of sex scenes. When I was trying to find this film, I was looking everywhere. I was like, oh, I'll find it on YouTube, probably. The Room full movie, 2003, whatever. And I looked it up and I found one and I clicked on it and it was like The Room clean version. And I looked at the description. It was like, for any of you guys that want to watch this masterpiece with your kids, this is the version with all the sex scenes cut out.
It's like 70 minutes long.
Yeah, it was an hour and 27 instead of an hour 39.
It's pretty crazy. A lot of boobs. Good for him. Really the biggest vanity project we may have seen on here.
Oh my god!
He just wanted to bang these actresses.
All of them were to like R&B late night slow jam music too.
He's like oiled.
They were so long, and they were whole songs long. Next one. According to Tommy Wiseau, Lisa's mother makes a full recovery from her breast cancer.
The lore. I was wondering about that a little bit. She was very nonchalant about it.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Next. According to Greg Sestero, Tommy Wiseau submitted the film to Paramount Pictures, hoping to get them on board as a distributor. Usually it takes about 2 weeks to get a reply from such a studio, but this movie, however, rejected his film within 24 hours.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. There's literally not a single famous person attached to it. You're just a crazy guy who handed in a videotape. They're just probably going to say no outright.
In a crazy movie.
But were
next.
they wrong?
Maybe. Probably could have made him a lot of money.
in a weird way.
Yeah. Next, towards the end of the Los Angeles portion of the shoot, morale among the crew was so low that Todd Barron's name was not listed on the clapper board. Who was Todd Barron?
He was a cinematographer.
Oh, Todd Barron's name was not listed on the clapperboard. Take numbers were not being recorded. Giggling crew members wandered in and out of the shots, and entire scenes were out of focus simply because nobody bothered to check the lens.
Very laissez-faire. Bohemian of them.
And it kind of gives me those like Birdemic vibes where they just did it on the weekends or whatnot. Like, still people had to do other things, and
yeah, they just cut all the corners, as you could see.
Instead of being fully dedicated to this or being a low budget one or something like that, like an indie project, and getting it done in a month or so. Yeah, this is drawn out over a year, and they got to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Next, according to Wiseau, Denny has some sort of mental disorder, which explains his behavior in the film. He didn't bother mentioning this to actor Philip Haldeman during the production, though.
What the fuck? Yeah. So
I think Denny was
have this subtext. I think Denny was my least favorite. Before you finish your thought.
I think he was my favorite.
Yeah. Denny sucked.
I think he had some of the best acting scenes in the movie.
He was such a twerp, though.
When he cried at the end was decent acting, and the surprising Claudette, Lisa, and Denny screaming at each other on the roof was decent acting.
That was pretty weird.
It was really weird. Why does Claudette keep butting in? But next,
that is Paulette. Is it Claudette?
Claudette.
Okay.
Next, Tommy Wiseau was adamant about the shot of him getting out of bed and walking naked to the bathroom. In quotes, he says, "I have to show my ass or this movie won't sell." End quotes. He did numerous takes of the scene, refusing to move on until the crew demanded he do so. And editor Eric Chase later tried to convince him to cut the shot, claiming it scared cinematographer Chase's wife.
Scared her wife?
My wife is so afraid of your ass.
He knows he needed it in there, though.
This movie won't sell. And as he stepped through the door, I'm pretty sure I saw quite a bit of ball sack from behind too.
There's a little
his legs spread, yeah.
Some shadows, yeah.
You got a little bit of ball sack. There's still more. I had a lot of facts on this. 4 more.
I'm sure.
In the years since its release, Tommy Wiseau claimed the film was always meant to be a comedy, full of so bad it's good elements, but the rest of the cast suspects he's attempting to deflect them from the fact that his epic drama was not received the way he intended it to be.
Yeah, that seems
100% correct. After low tickets, it takes a crazy guy to make a film like this.
For sure. Out of your mind.
Next one. After low ticket sales, the film was almost immediately pulled from cinemas. Tommy Wiseau paid his own money to keep the film playing in one cinema for 2 weeks, so it would be eligible for Oscar nominations. This proved to be a fruitless attempt, as the film didn't receive any nominations at the Oscars.
No.
Ironically, The Disaster Artist did receive 1 Oscar nom for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Sestero was nominated at the end of it all then.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy. How can you show movies like this in theaters? So if they don't have a studio, or he just goes over and hands them to theaters and say, "Play this, please."
Yeah.
What the fuck are movies?
He's here's my tape.
Play this. Take it. 3, please. It's called The Room. There's a little bit of my ass in there.
Thank God we weren't gonna play it, but now your ass is in there. Well, we have to show it, Mr. Wiseau.
Yeah.
People have been going to this theater for ages, being like, when are we gonna see a movie with Tommy Wiseau's ass in it?
Yeah, finally.
What is his real name?
Nobody knows. Wiseau's a made-up name. Yeah.
I thought you knew or something because I couldn't find it. Okay, penultimate. According to The Disaster Artist, Tommy Wiseau is fascinated by vampires and enjoys cultivating the impression that he is one. He's a vampire.
Kind of looks like one.
Greg Sestero recounts how early in production, Wiseau approached cinematographer Raphael Smadja with a new scene. He said, in quotes, "I want my car to fly off of the roof and into the sky. It's just possible side plot. Maybe Johnny is vampire." Wiseau eventually dropped the idea after learning that this wasn't possible on the production's budget.
$6 million, they could do that shit.
They're just trying to make another Morbius.
Yeah, also, what does that have to do with being a vampire driving the car?
A flying car? No fucking clue.
It's hilarious. I love it.
I put that fact in here just for Seth so he could get excited about vampires are gonna go bleh.
Morbius.
But the Morbius. And then nominations.
Wow.
My last fact. And it was nominated for one thing.
Wow.
At the New York International Independent Film Festival. It was the winner for Best Feature Film. Yeah.
Is there more to that? Was this like a one film festival?
I don't know. It won though. It reminds me. It reminds me of the frickin' thing that Nathan Fielder did on Nathan For You to get his movie an award. So he made up the South Dallas or the Southeastern Los Angeles Independent Film Awards, and it was his movie where Bill Gates had to decode to stop.
He did win
against the farting kid.
Yeah, which also is strong contender.
So that is our facts. Oh, hi, facts.
Oh, hi, facts.
And so that means we can get into the movie. Nicole Kidman, don't cheat on Keith Urban.
Do
cheat on him.
Yeah, he deserves that and more.
But why are you doing it with Keith Urban's best friend, Seth Tigner?
They would vibe. They have similar facial hair. They appreciate
Sometimes
Nicole
they have
Kidman.
A little flow. They appreciate Nicole Kidman.
They can play the guitar.
They both play guitar, yeah. And they are both not cowboys.
They both suck. No, just
kidding. Nicole Kidman, Seth, why are you with Nicole Kidman?
Can you imagine if that's why he wasn't on the podcast?
She was out banging Nicole
Kidman on Oscar night.
While Keith on Oscar night.
Yeah. She's gotta get that Seth action.
She's literally one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. She's always winning awards and shit. She's always nominated.
She has to stop by Billions with her private jet to get some Seth dick.
Seth, we are so proud of you. How has he not invited her on the podcast yet?
Because they got to keep it a secret.
Yeah, he doesn't want Keith Urban to know. Keith Urban's a valued listener of this podcast.
Keith Urban might, yeah,
like that.
In the
movie. Well, Seth, thank you for breaking up that marriage and keep plowing Nicole for us.
Yeah, right on, buddy.
Pipe on?
No, right on, but pipe on too, as well.
Pipe on, brother.
Pipe on.
So let's get into the movie. You get a lot. This movie, it starts this way, but you get a lot of just exposition scenery shots of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And every B-roll shot is to this like oboe piano duet kind of royalty-free music.
No, it's more elevator-y music than classy.
It's very playful. It's like bouncy for like the theme of the movie of what we're going to be getting into, for how bouncy and playful.
A sort of nice tone that they're going to undercut.
A nicety. Yeah.
Well, also there's hardcore lovemaking right away.
Right. Johnny rides in on a streetcar home to give his fiance this ball gown, this like red ball gown he bought, and some random boy Denny comes in. I'm like, hey, it's Denny, and I'm like, who's Denny? They never introduce any characters right off the bat.
They're like, what's up, Denny?
He's like, wow, Lisa, you look fucking hot in that dress. And they're like, hey, we're gonna go upstairs, and so you should probably
I like
go,
to watch you
Denny.
guys. Yeah.
He picks up an apple off their table and just starts eating it.
I thought
And
he
then
was their kid. He's not their child.
he's not. No, he is. You learn this quite a bit late, like halfway through the movie.
He's a neighbor boy.
He's a neighbor
Kind
boy
of.
that they're kind of adopting and paying for college for because he didn't have a family.
Mhm.
But he eats an apple off their table and then just walks up and follows them up their spiral staircase to the room. But they're in the room. There it is.
A room.
But he walks in to see them just making out, her in the new red dress and everything. They've got that classic bed that's got like the sheer sheets hanging down all around it.
Sexy bed.
The sexy bed. And he comes in there like, yeah, you should probably go.
Wink, wink.
But instead they have a pillow fight?
All three of them, yeah.
There were a lot of pillow fights in this movie. There were multiple pillow fights.
It invokes intimacy, Brandon.
It invokes girls' sleepovers.
That too.
But they have a pillow fight. But who is this kid? Why does he linger? He ends up leaving. We're like, great. And now you get your first slow jam sex scene. I was like, where did they get this rose? Like they were already holding a rose. And there were so many shots of them having sex through like falling water. Like a waterfall. I was like, where is this water coming from?
He was grunting quite a bit.
Oh my god. The grunting and the moans were so loud over this R&B slow jam tunes.
Part of that was the audio mixing issues because the dialogue was really quiet all the time, unless they were yelling. And then the sex was loud.
It was like, oh my god.
And then lasts for 6 minutes.
They cut this. This one ended up only being 4 full minutes.
Oh, just not too bad then. I checked Marina's a little bit.
Marina's immediately like, I am uncomfortable. It's like, I think that's the point.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's the point is to Tommy to show everybody that he fucks first and foremost.
He fucks for a long time for on camera. I read that she did not know that the sex scenes were going to be shown like that. She thought it was going to be like 10-second snippets like they usually are in movies.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And not 4-minute passionate lovemaking scenes.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, good. But so after that, they cuddle to each other. They fall asleep, fades to black, and the next morning, Johnny gets up. You see his whole ass, low ball sack. You see a low ball sack.
A little bit.
And he walks out of the room naked. And while Johnny's away, Lisa's mom comes over, Claudette. But you don't know it's her mom for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just this old lady. They're talking. She tells him immediately after this passionate night of lovemaking that she doesn't love Johnny anymore because he's boring and safe.
Yeah, and mom's like, he'll buy you a house. She's like, that's why I don't want to marry him. She wants a rebel bad boy.
She doesn't want that stability.
She never did.
And but mom's like, you need safety, you need stability, you got to stay with him. And mom leaves. Lisa calls this guy Mark, and she's like, hey, I just want to meet up and talk with you. You're like, okay. So Mark comes over, stops by her place. She immediately starts to seduce him. And you're like, who is Mark?
He kind of lets on that. He's like, no, Johnny's my best friend.
Yeah. He starts to plead his case of, one, who he is and why this shouldn't happen.
What an introduction.
And Mark, I'm Johnny's best friend. We shouldn't have sex. And he keeps resisting her, telling her that her and Johnny's relationship will be fine. But she finally wins him over. They start to make out. And this is 3 minutes after the last sex scene.
Yeah, was this a Genuine song? It was very heavy.
You get another slow jam sex scene. But this time, instead of in the bed, on the spiral staircase.
Yeah. They don't care. That's lust, Brandon.
I guess so. You know how tight a spiral staircase is?
Pretty tight.
You know what else is tight?
Yeah. Tell me.
But like, buttholes.
Ooh, her butthole.
But this is like 3 minutes as well. They did not let up. We're 15 minutes in. 7 minutes of it have been sex
Erotica.
scenes. Yeah, and you get a lot more boobs.
Yeah, some good boob.
And so they fuck on the spiral staircase. It's like, oh, that one was better. It was a little shorter. And Mark regrets all of his decisions. He says he can't do this anymore because Johnny's his best friend. He's like, can't do it.
Yeah, the
this
conscience.
never again. And he's like, but this is our little secret. And then they make out
And they
again.
make
I was
out like way tongue out. Yeah.
I was like, well, there's the conscience is not there anymore.
Then we get
So
Tommy. No, Johnny.
Johnny, he's buying flowers.
I thought he said 1,000 roses, but it was just a dozen
A
roses.
dozen, which I think is the continuity error. This is the roses where they should be in the first lovemaking scene.
Maybe.
But he buys these flowers. Oh, there was a dog on the counter. This like little pug.
Yeah, one of my quotes. That it could get hurt, get him down. We know that from Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, I read a fact about this. I didn't put it in, but now that we're here, it was that this dog was just chilling. Like this is an actual store and whatnot. He would just go in there and buy flowers, but nobody noticed that the dog was in the frame of the shot until it was done because the dog was so old and still that they thought it was
Like
like
set it up.
like stuffed or like a toy or something. So they're like,
That's
oh, that's
crazy.
not real. But then it moved a little bit, and so he improvised that line to the dog.
What a genius.
And they're like, oh, that pug is real.
It was pretty snappy dialogue.
Yeah.
In that they didn't wait for each other to respond. So it was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Flowers?
I'm good.
Yes, please.
She also didn't recognize him with his sunglasses on. Pulls him up. Oh, it's Johnny.
Just Johnny.
And Denny tries to come over while he's out to visit with Johnny, but also asks to kiss Lisa.
This little gremlin boy.
Denny's not a gremlin boy.
He's kind of like a gremlin.
He doesn't have a family.
So, a lot of gremlins don't have families.
All gremlins are family together.
That's true. He has a gremlin family, I guess.
But she says no. She's like, you can wait here for Johnny though, but he leaves. He's like, it's not that important. And Johnny comes home with the flowers, but brings bad news. He didn't get the promotion, even with how much money he saved the bank.
I know, which is not what you base promotions on. I don't think. Right? He's
how much money you saved the company.
Yeah, he's like, I put chains on the pens so no one steals them anymore. He's like, sorry, you can't be the bank executive. It's like, why not?
Right? Was that actually what he said?
No, that's just what I'm sure his idea would be, to save them money.
Oh, okay. Like I thought that's what he actually. I put these chains on the.
Well, how else can you save money to bank? I don't know.
Better loan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back counting the change back to him. I don't know.
Money. Yeah.
More money. He made him more. He sold leather jackets for the bank. So
they didn't.
So he made way more money. Yeah. But she's like, you know what? My day was rough too. Nobody called me at home about my computer business.
Yeah. Also didn't know about our computer business.
And it never comes up again.
No. So she's like, we need to get trashed. But I don't drink.
I don't drink. Yeah, but
tonight.
They get trashed. She offers him a drink that is what looked to be originally just whiskey on the rocks, just like straight whiskey.
Yeah.
Like half a glass of whiskey, and then added half vodka to it. And she grabs his hand, puts the cup in it, and holds it to his mouth and forces him to drink this liquor. And now they're trashed. They're breaking glasses, laughing. She's wearing a tie around her head, and they start to make out on the couch. And you get another fucking slow jam sex scene.
The third one. In 19 minutes or something of the movie, yeah.
This one was only like a minute and a half, which was nice. And it has a lot of reused scenes from the first sex scene.
That makes sense.
They used the waterfall one again, the one with the roses again.
What a good husband.
He pleases his wife. He makes sweet, tender love to her back-to-back nights. But in between that, she also had sex with Mark.
Come on, Lisa.
But now Lisa's talking with her mom again and fighting. The mom the whole time just dishing and fighting about how she's not going to give up half her house to her brother.
Yeah, irrelevant plot points. Probably maybe a side plot in the 540-page novel.
The house value has appreciated, but I'm not going to give him half the house. I was like, okay, cool, thanks, whatever. But the shit, I was like, oh my god, the mom has cancer. She dropped it so nonchalantly, afraid she'll die, but at least Lisa has a good man to take care of them.
Johnny.
It's Johnny. And she's like, I don't love Johnny, you know. He drank last night. He hit me. The mom did not.
Lying.
The mom, yeah, she lies about Johnny hitting her when he's drunk overnight, but the mom did not give a shit about her being beat.
She's like, we'll talk about this later.
Completely glossed over that her daughter is in a domestic abuse relationship.
Well, she didn't really give a shit that the mom had cancer either.
I guess that's true. Well, she was like, no, there's cures out there. I was like, was there really like a good cure in 2002?
I don't know. And then they glossed over that pretty quickly too. Yeah.
But so
we need some new people for another sex scene.
The completely unintroduced people walk in and they just start making out, and we're like, is this their home? Is this Johnny and Lisa's home? It is.
It is. Just a young couple.
A young couple making out, eating chocolates.
Blows him.
Spitting the chocolate between each other's mouth that they're eating as well.
Gross.
And she's like, here, eat this chocolate. And you just get this like close up of his face as he chews and comes as she blows, like
reminiscent of the beginning of the Dane Cook movie. Good luck.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to tell you that I love you, and I've got all your sandy balls in my mouth.
I love it. They're invoking Good Luck Chuck.
You love sandy balls in your mouth. This movie was Good Luck Chuck was invoking The Room.
I think you're right.
But yeah, so he gets a nice blowjob, and who are these people? You don't know. But then Lisa and her mom, who apparently were gone, walk back in immediately afterwards, in on them, getting it on. And Lisa's cool with
having sex in the apartment. Yeah.
No, Lisa's totally fine with it. She's like, oh, they do this. She's like, what?
Yeah, they just use it as a shack.
These guys, I don't know. They just come, they fuck on the couch, and then they leave. It's whatever. But it's classic Michelle and her boyfriend Mike. Like, this is just what they do. And Denny is also storming in right behind them looking for some baking supplies. And this is where we learn that Johnny wants to adopt Denny because he's never had a family. And the mom's like, oh, who cares about Denny? And I was like, she was so high on Johnny before. And they're just like, oh, that kid doesn't matter. The mom. She's like, he shouldn't be. But then Lisa's like, he's such a good guy for taking you in. I was like, you guys just flip-flopped your own.
They really don't care about continuity in that sense. You're right. All over the place. Because a lot of times the mom advocates for Johnny. A lot of times she advocates her to do what her heart tells her. Flip-flop.
And Lisa as well. I'm not in love with Johnny, but then he's such a good guy and he deserves to be with somebody he loves.
The schizophrenia and duality of man.
Ooh. It's invoking duality.
Of course it is.
It invokes schizophrenia.
A little.
But yeah, so he comes in and Denny's on some rooftop when this thug comes to the roof demanding his money from Denny. And Denny doesn't have it.
Not a bad actor.
No, he's pretty good. So this guy pulls a gun on Denny.
Yeah, right up to his temple. Where's my fucking money?
Give me 5 minutes. I'll have the money for you. And he's about to like shoot him or toss him over the edge of the roof when Johnny and Mark come to his rescue, tackle the drug dealer, and take him off to the police. And this is where you get this giant screaming match about where the money came from and what kind of drugs he's been purchasing between Denny and Lisa and her mom. And it's like, Claudette didn't know who Denny was.
Yeah, Claudette
doesn't care about him, but the whole time she's like, what kind of fucking drugs are you getting from this man?
instinct definitely kicked in. She's like, we're gonna call the cops on you, Denny. Like, no, Denny's our guy. Like, Mom, he made a mistake. It's like, no, you cannot be hanging around with this riffraff, Denny.
Where'd you get the money? Where did you get? What kind of drugs are you buying from these men, Denny? I will turn you in right now. It's like, Claudette, chill out.
Yeah.
But Denny
Chill out,
has a good,
Claudette.
like, kind of screaming back with Lisa. It was decent.
Yeah, this is probably the acting powerhouse of the movie, I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And after that, Johnny and Mark back up on the rooftop talking about how
like the
good
next
Lisa.
day?
Yeah, probably. Talking about how good Lisa is for Johnny. And they talk about cheating and just how to figure women out, man.
Is this Denny too, right? Or is this only Mark? Denny's up there later.
It's just Johnny and Mark. And they just talk about women. And Mark kind of storms out angry. And this is when Denny comes up there to talk to him too. And Denny confesses that he's in love with Lisa to Johnny.
Yeah, and Johnny's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Doesn't give a care.
He loves you too, as a friend.
Gives him a life lesson about how the world would be a better place with more love in it anyway.
Insane.
Everybody's got love in their heart. That some people just can't.
Polygamist?
Some people just can't show it. And he's like, no, not like I love you, like I appreciate everything, and I'm so happy you're in my life. He's like, I want to fuck your wife right now.
He's like, yeah, that's cool.
People, it's great that you have love. He's like, I want to make out with your wife right now. It's great.
And then at the end, he's like, what about Michelle, your old girlfriend? He's like, oh, I love Michelle. I want to be with her forever and have kids with her. Like, Danny, get a grip.
Was it actually Michelle? Is this the Michelle that's with Mike?
I don't know if that's it. I thought it was a Michelle.
Another
love triangle that goes
maybe
unnoticed.
But yeah, he's not angry at Denny at all because he trusts Denny and Lisa. They wouldn't hurt him like that.
I couldn't.
But now you cut to Lisa dishing with Michelle. It's girl talk time.
Telling everybody that Mark hit her.
It's a terrible thing to say.
Well, yeah. She's the villain, Brandon.
She's like, he got drunk, he hit me, I don't want to marry him. And she confesses that she found a new guy, Mark. Michelle's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and Johnny
Michelle also takes the abuse allegations pretty lightly as well. It's like, are you sure? Nobody
cares. Not a single person cares. And
2003.
2003, a Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It invokes it.
It does.
And Johnny comes in. He hears the very tail end of their gossip. He hears them say, this is our little secret. So now he's suspicious. But they won't spill the beans because it's girl talk. That's girl code.
Yeah. One of my quotes, yeah.
Did you ever watch Guy Code or Girl Code on MTV?
Definitely not.
I watched a little Guy Code.
Not for me.
You ever watch Drunk History?
Like one episode. Also not for me.
I watched a little bit of it, yeah, but I didn't watch a ton of it.
Were you like 1,000 Ways to Die guy?
I did watch a lot of 1,000 Ways to Die.
I figured. Also not for me.
You ever watch the one? It wasn't MTV, but there was one on some channel somewhere called like Ultimate Warrior or something, where it was historians recreated it was the Spartan soldier versus a ninja, and who would win in this matchup.
That sounds familiar. I think maybe, but it also wasn't for me.
And then they did this giant AI battle recreation kind of thing where you got to see them fight it out and who was truly the best kind of warrior. That show rocked.
Not for me.
What kind of weapons they had, how they would pair up against each other. I remember watching one where it was the IRA, the Irish whatever. I can't remember what Army. Versus the Green Beret. That was a good one.
Oh, Green Beret all day.
Green Beret did win with one guy left. But
what a show.
The IRA nail grenade really came into play. So
against special ops, no way.
The more you know. The more you know.
More you know.
Or Pimp My Ride. I was a Pimp My Ride kind of guy.
Not for me. Back in this movie, Johnny confronts Lisa
He does.
Says, I know what
He really does.
what the fuck is going on. Says I didn't hit you, but then shoves her twice.
Yeah, I never hit you. We should be open with you. Shoves her and she leaves.
Yeah. He threatens her life at the end, sort of. He's gonna say, "I'll kill you" or something like that.
He does.
I know.
It was like, oh, okay, maybe
you'll lose your life. Do you like living? Something like that.
She makes up these lies that he hit her, but never actually tells the truth that he shoved her and threatened her.
Yeah, not the greatest guy.
But now Mike is telling Johnny this whole story about how Claudette and Lisa walked in on him and Michelle making out there in the hallway, and how embarrassing it was that he had to run back in for his underwear.
Did they take it outside?
No, they just stay in this hallway, and then Denny shows up, and then Mark shows up, and this is guy time. Football in the hallway with Mike, Mark, Johnny, and Denny.
Yeah, and they're just dishing, talking shop as you would.
And they don't play football. They just underhand toss it to each other.
Yeah, well, Mark tries to play football. It's clear Tommy doesn't know what football is.
He does do an overhand throw from time to time. Everybody else underhands it. But something happened, and I wasn't super sure. Mark almost like tackled Mike into the trash cans because Mike was saying something about the underwear or Lisa and Claudette walking in. I don't know. He like fell into the trash cans, but Mark bumped into him, so I thought maybe it was intentional. He was going to say something.
I thought it was just being an idiot.
Could have been.
To end the scene for those two to leave.
Could have been. Yeah, I don't know. But now Lisa and her mom fighting again about Johnny not loaning Claudette money.
Yeah, that seems like a big ask. How come you won't? No, it wasn't even for Claudette. It was for her friend. She's like, my friend wants to buy a house. How can your fiance not help me out?
Oh, maybe it's because he's this hotshot banker and wouldn't approve her loan.
Oh, maybe that's it.
That's what loaning her money. I thought just like his own personal money. I'm sure. Yeah. He's a hotshot banker and he's just a teller. He's just Penn and Teller.
Can you save all the pens?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's some good jokes there. But they're fighting about this when Lisa tells her about how she cheated on Johnny. She's like, he won't lend my friend money. Well, I cheated on him, so.
Mom doesn't really care.
Doesn't care, but Johnny was hiding on the stairs and overheard this conversation.
Yeah, the reveal was funny for this because they hadn't shown him the whole time. They just panned over the side, and he was just on the stairs. Like, what?
Hiding between the middle beam of the spiral staircase.
What do you think?
What do you think was the better spiral staircase? This one or the super tall one and a talking cat?
Probably that one. A talking cat.
I think that's so too.
But the porn house one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the tree with heels and the half car.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does
mixed up with Love on a Leash all the time.
He does need proof.
So he sets up. That's probably like a minute and a half of him setting up this recorder.
He puts this cassette tape recorder and hooks it up to the phone.
That's why it takes so long.
If a phone call comes through, it records it, so he can record their conversation.
I don't know why he needs proof either.
He heard
him saying he cheated. He'd just be like, "Dump her, bro."
He literally heard her say, "Yeah." He's literally heard her like, "I had sex with his best friend Mark," and he's like, "Proof."
Yeah. Let's see where this one leads.
Sets all this up. He wants to catch her in the act. So now Johnny is talking to Peter, his psychologist friend. Just a new guy here.
Peter the psychologist.
About what he should do now that he caught Lisa. What did you say about his glasses?
He just has them. He's bald glasses. He looks like a psychologist.
And they're talking in Johnny's house about this and whatnot, about what they need to do. And there's a moment when Peter stands up in the room because it's pretty dark in the room, but there's one moment where sunshine breaks through an upper window and just lights up his face. Did you see this?
Weird. No, I wasn't privy.
This was like the one part of the film where I was like, this has to not be intentional, but I was like, he's telling him that Lisa's too good to like, he should still stay with her because she's been everything for him up to this point. I was like, maybe this light illuminating on him in this red painted room is like the good angel on his shoulder.
I think, yeah, that'd be a great reading of it. That's an
I
essay
gave the
right
movie
there.
quite a bit of props here, but
I need to look at that out. Yeah.
and then Mark comes into there too, tells him about he has this new girl.
Girl problems out the wazoo.
She's like married, but it's complicated, so they can't. It's like, oh, that sounds
The
that
tension
sounds a
is
little
palpable.
suspicious. Yeah. And now Johnny is telling the guys the story of how he met Lisa. He's like, it's crazy, man.
Bad story.
He moved to San Fran, but couldn't cash a $2,000 check, so he went to the YMCA.
Yeah, just where like the homeless sort of youth go. They need a cheap room or something. And then he was working as a barista, right?
Oh, I thought he was a housekeeper at a hotel.
Or maybe that was it. Yeah, he's working at the hotel, sees her getting coffee. That's what it was.
And says hi.
Hi, and that's how we met. Like, what's crazy about that?
She paid.
Yeah.
This is stupid. But Lisa comes home and all the guys just kind of leave awkwardly. But Denny follows her in. And instead of like coming in the house, they just sit in the entryway with the open door, like in the front, and just talk there for a couple minutes and then leave.
Yeah, very weird. Very about nothing, I don't think.
But now, here is a big moment of the movie.
Yeah.
Peter finds Mark on the roof.
Smoking something of unknown substance.
Most likely some reefer.
You think so? Or just a cigarette?
Probably. No, probably reefer.
Could be LA. Who knows?
But they chat for a bit until Peter asks him if he's having an affair with Lisa. And Mark loses it.
Yeah,
Grabs
fucking
Peter. Right to the edge
of the roof. Yeah, I was gonna throw him off. I'll fucking kill you.
Dangles him. But they reconcile. Talk about the affair. Like, that's okay, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about it. One of the themes of the movie.
Dangled me over a 10-story roof. Don't worry about it, man.
You're stressed. I get it.
And now all the guys are in tuxes for wedding photos.
Is this the wedding? Are they doing this before the wedding?
I thought it was, but it's clearly not.
Yeah, the groomsmen all arrive in short order. My note is that the fashion is pretty clear because they all look like LeBron suits at the 2003 NBA draft. They're all wearing the big suits.
Baggy.
Yeah.
And Mark comes in clean shaven.
Ooh, what a baby. What a doll.
And it's once again classic guy time tuxedo alley football.
Some more football. I like the scene. I said it had 0 point to anything in the movie, but I liked it.
Mark, Mike, Johnny, Peter, and Denny playing football when Peter's a klutz and trips in the alley, falls on his face. So now they're done playing football.
Yeah, that doesn't come up either. He's just like, all right, let's quit playing football now.
No, and you never see the wedding or the wedding photos being taken. It's literally just the next day.
Briefly.
And the next shot is Mark and Johnny at a cafe or something. Mm-hmm. But do we need to see 3 different couples order their entire meal at the register?
There. It's reality. I thought it was funny that the coffee cups were cow patterned.
Oh, interesting. And they never gave them with lids on them.
No, they didn't either.
Mark took his hot chocolate without a lid that he didn't drink just to go.
I'll take it, sure.
But everyone's ordering cheesecake. This lady was pushing cheesecake on everybody. You want some cheesecake? It's pretty good. It's pretty good cheesecake at this coffee shop.
That's crazy. He had to have worked there or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Johnny knew everybody in the town.
Yeah.
He was all chummy with them.
San Fran anyways.
Probably. But we watch all of them order drinks and dessert in this cafe. Johnny's like, oh, sorry, I didn't notice the time. I got to go. Right as they sit down. So he leaves their mandate right away. And you get a 4th fucking slow jam sex scene between Mark and Lisa. He's like, he's at work. We're going to fuck.
Yeah. This is the 4th of the whole movie, you're saying?
Yeah.
I think it's the 5th if you count the blowjob scene.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that one didn't have any titties in it.
Or like genuine or something going on.
No Miguel R&B slow jams.
Miguel.
This one had the loudest moaning of all time. Mark could not hold it back.
Yeah, Mark suspect. Really rhythmic boning.
And moaning.
And
so this one's about 2.5 minutes long or whatnot. We're up to 11 minutes of sex scenes.
Sure, yeah.
We're an hour and 10 minutes in. It's been a seventh of the film so far.
And a little annoyed at it, believe it or not.
And now you get a quick fade into some more San Fran landscapes with that opening piano oboe music. And Mark and Johnny,
like
when they
House.
went to it's exact. They show the Painted Lady buildings. They show the Golden Gate Bridge.
Everywhere you look.
Whatever happened to predictability?
What a show.
But when they were at the cafe, Mark asked Johnny, he's like, hey, you want to go on that jog with me? And he's like, sure. What time? He's like, 6:30 in the morning. He's like, okay, I'll be there. So now you get their arranged 6:30 a.m. run, but it's also just like midday. It's like so bright out. And
Didn't they bring a football?
They mostly just play football again. They don't even jog much.
They go play football in the park. I said, why go there when you have a perfectly capable roof you can throw the football around at, or an alleyway.
Or an alleyway, or a hallway. They play so much football in this movie. Football and sex scenes. Tommy Wiseau's like, I need to pander to the men with this movie.
If that isn't Middle America, Central America is a whole different thing. Then I don't know what is.
I swear to God, if this ain't Honduras,
yeah.
I've been to El Salvador. I know Central America, and this is football and titty shots have got to be.
They love it. I'm sure they do.
Are the peak of Nicaragua.
Who wouldn't love it?
Oh, I mean, I did. But so they go on this little run football date, and Mark comes over to help set up for the party. This party that has not been introduced up to this point.
I thought it kind of was. It's a surprise party.
It is a surprise party for Johnny.
Yeah.
But
his birthday.
He comes over. Lisa immediately rips off her clothes and Mark's shirt. They're about to get it on when Michelle knocks and comes in to see Mark shirtless, caught in the action.
She really doesn't care, Lisa. She said, oh, this is my guy.
This is Mark.
He leaves, and they have a chat. She's so drunk on power. She's just like, I just need what I want. If Mark can't give it to me, I'll just find another guy.
She's going to stop at no cost to find the perfect man for her.
All's fair in love and war.
Even if Mark isn't the right one, she's going to sleep around till she finds that one.
Even if Johnny gets hurt.
Yep, doesn't care. And now you get another jogging scene. Is this the 6:30 a.m. jog?
I think so, maybe.
Where they race through the woods, they run up some stairs, they chat along the way, and while they're out running, Claudette comes over to talk with Lisa before the party. And they argue again about...
It's like the sixth conversation again. The same
about the wedding and marrying Johnny, but loving Mark, etc., etc. We've said it before. And Johnny is walking on his way home to this oboe music, opens up the door, surprise party for him.
There it is.
And at this party, Johnny is...
friends there. Yeah.
He's suspicious.
A little bit. Lisa's chatting up all manner of guys.
And there was one guy that never got a name that just continues to be at this party.
And hovering.
But yeah, she's talking to everyone. He's watching. There's also this...
Let's go outside for a second.
Well, there was also the scene where like Mike and Michelle are exchanging cake bites like they did with the chocolate.
Oh yeah, gross.
They're doing that. They're eating cake and whatnot. Everybody's having a good time. Lisa's like, "Hey, let's go outside. Let's party outside." So everybody goes except her and Mark. Like, wow, super sneaky, Lisa. Everybody knows you guys are fucking now.
Yeah, we're the 2 of our 9 people at our party.
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a party. Although when you get the outside shot later, there were like 40 people there.
Just inconsistent, yeah.
But yeah, they're in there, they're making out, they're about to get it on when this unnamed hovering man walks back in.
Yeah.
He's like, I knew it. I was like, who are you?
It should have been Denny or something.
It's literally anybody other than this man.
Yeah, new character.
And so yeah, he walks in on them, and tells her off, and that's
And
it.
then, yeah, doesn't make her confront or anything. And then Johnny, back in the party, everyone comes back inside, I guess, has a big announcement, like you did.
Yeah, they're expecting. I was like, what the fuck?
Good twist.
They're expecting a baby, and Lisa's talking. Lisa's telling Michelle that, and that other hovering guy, that this baby thing was just a lie that she told Johnny. They're not
Just for
actually
no
having a
reason.
baby. She told it to him to stall so she had time to tell him about Mark and to give him hope. I was like, give him hope.
Why
He's
do you want
expecting
to
a
do that?
child now.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I guess I
It's
didn't
just-
take that part of it into his like final decision. The emotionality of having a child ripped from your hands just moments after realizing it.
your girl, your best friend, and your child to be are gone.
Yeah,
But they decide, you know what, we're all gonna go back inside and have cake. And I was like, weren't they just eating cake earlier? They're
a lot of
sharing
cake.
cake.
It's a birthday.
But they go back in, they have some cake, and Mark confronts Lisa at the party, wondering if the baby is his because she didn't let Mark in on this news. And
No,
he's like,
he's rightfully freaked out.
I have the right to know if it's my baby. She tells him, of course not. He grabs her arm kind of hastily, and she slaps the shit out of his face.
Yeah, where's Johnny during this?
In the
Short to
kitchen,
come. Yeah, eating like
in
pigs in a blanket.
in front of everyone. Now Mark and Johnny come in. They start fighting each other, but they just
For a
make up
second.
and they shake hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said we are friends. Nothing come between us.
Nothing could come between us. So now Johnny pulls Lisa aside to go outside and talk, but everyone is now back inside dancing. He's like, we need to go outside and talk about this. So they go outside, but the next scene is Lisa dancing with Mark inside.
Yeah.
What do they talk about?
I don't know. Well, and it's just the same exact scene over again. They have another climax between the two of them.
Yeah, because Lisa and Mark are dancing and kind of like kiss in front of everyone when Johnny sees it. So they get into another fight 30 seconds later, start shoving, yelling about how to keep a woman satisfied.
Yeah, the best friends are no longer.
But the party's over.
Everyone leaves. I guess they just all leave. I don't know.
Yeah,
Does Mark just go home? He's just like, all right, see you guys.
Yeah. Everyone goes home.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody
Mark,
lives in the same building.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Why not? And then
Why
I
not?
guess Johnny goes and locks himself in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I guess, and Lisa's just like, "What are you doing? Don't do that." I
So
don't know, but
she calls Mark.
yeah, she does, and not like out of like I'm worried my fiance is gonna hurt himself. She's just like, you want to hook up?
She's like, I need you, I love you, I want to be with you. And Johnny opens the door. He's like, what the fuck was that? I'm in the bathroom. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
But
having
he's like,
suicidal ideation. What the fuck?
he's literally watched. He knows that they're fucking. Everyone knows that they're fucking. He
She
watched
told him
them
that to
kiss
his
at the.
face. Yeah.
She kissed at the party. Like all of this is out in the news to everyone. But Johnny's
He
like,
needs to check
oh,
his
watch.
proof.
He's like, watch this. Pulls out the tape and plugs it in. And I was just like, you didn't need to play this. Everyone knows that each other knows. Like,
Yeah. But I guess
just.
that's the big realization for him. So it's
It's the
true
big
all
reveal.
along. She leaves.
So
He destroys his apartment for like
he
7
also
minutes.
reimagines all the times they had together, but all of the scenes were just their lovemaking scenes.
That's all that he remembers. He
Or
loved
the
the
scenes
most.
leading right up to it when she's in the red dress in the bed. Like that was
He
it.
loves that shit.
The only scenes it
Foreplay and
just
sex.
destroys his whole house, goes to lie down and sees the red dress that he bought her. And he just keeps sniffing it and getting flashbacks of their sex together. So then he held the dress to his crotch and humped it, and I think he came.
I wasn't paying close enough attention to see that, I guess.
You didn't
That
see him humping the
I
dress?
respect it. No, I respect it.
He'd sniff it and then hold it to his crotch
Good for
and
him.
thrust a couple times and
His
sniff,
final
and then he
moments.
held it down, came, and then he grabs a gun and shoots himself in the mouth.
He does. What's the point of the movie? That the message is saying that this woman was awful? I don't
That
know.
infidelity can cause even the best of men to go
Crumble.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It was just like a lot of bad shit happens to this guy and he kills himself at the end. I was like, what a movie.
It's just pick on Johnny Day. Duh.
Yeah, I guess. It's
So
tragic in some
he
form
shoots
of
himself
fashion.
in the mouth, and Lisa and Mark find his body the next day, and they're like, "Oh my god, is he dead?" I think he's definitely dead. Shot himself through the face, but
Yeah, his brains are all over the floor. Is he gonna be
bleeding
okay?
bleeding out all night long. And Lisa
Yeah.
cries, and Mark kissed Johnny's corpse on the forehead.
They were best friends at one point. And then he also immediately turns and he's just like, I hate you, Lisa. All this was for nothing.
He
Fuck you.
fucking hates
I'm out of
Lisa.
here. Yeah. She's like, at least I have you, right? He's like, I never want to see you again.
Mark is so cold-blooded. I never want to be with you. You're a tramp. You're the one that
Yeah.
caused his death and all of this. I was like, goodness gracious.
A little bit.
I mean,
If it
yeah,
went that
but
hard.
Mark was probably a little bit a part of that too. You
I mean, a
can't
lot of
deflect
it.
all of the
Yeah.
blame onto
He's like, you're
Lisa.
psycho. Oh, fuck you too, Mark.
You're a big slut, and I don't ever want to see you again. Please leave.
And then Denny shows up, of course, too. Because why not?
Cries over his
yelling.
body, screams at them to leave so he can cry in peace. This was a decent acting scene from Denny as well.
Maybe.
But as he's like crying and screams at them to leave, they start to leave and then just come back and hug him more. And I was like, he wanted you guys to leave.
Yeah, it takes forever for the ambulance sirens to get going, too.
Nobody called 911.
That man has died and they're just holding him. I don't know. Maybe
The
shock.
ambulance shouldn't be coming if they didn't call 911.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But with that, as it zooms out and fades with police sirens, that is the end of The Room. The groom.
Vroom vroom.
To be, the groom to be.
No longer.
No, definitely not.
As he's dead in San Francisco. We're pretty early. The earliest we've been, I think, like ever.
We're cruising right
Seth.
now.
I mean, there's not a lot to talk about in this movie outside of its blatant mistakes, I think, honestly. Right?
Just plug and chug. I mean, like we said, there's 11 minutes of the hour 37 runtime that are just sex scenes.
And you can only talk about those so much before you're...
And another 5 minutes is probably them tossing a football around. So that is
6 minutes is her and her mom arguing about Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, probably, I don't know, 25 minutes of this is just repeat stuff. So that's 30% of the film that we don't have to cover. How are we going to describe? I want us to go back and describe in depth the sex scenes, please.
I think it's a possibility. How long did we go on the Velocipaster sex scene? And that was far superior.
Oh, that sex scene was so good.
Genuinely good. Yeah.
That was art. That was filmmaking at its finest. That was a fucking music video.
Yeah. You knew.
Oh, we got it. We know.
Where the passion lies. But yeah, we're ready for some quarters.
Let's do some quarters.
Take a break. We do the 5 second for the quarters, but we don't even.
Yeah, we won't do official break. We don't need to do that. We're chilling, but yeah, we'll let you cough. We'll get all that out and we'll do some QRRs.
Quotes, ratings, and reviews.
And recommendations.
And a little preview of what we'll do next week.
and a pause.
And an outro.
I'm glad we highlighted everything that we're gonna do.
Just so people know what's coming.
With 3 seconds in between each time.
Sometimes people think there's no structure to this, and they're dead ass wrong.
They are so right. If you see my fucking script, you are so wrong.
So quit saying it's unstructured, everybody.
I keep getting like hate mail about it. They're like, "You unstructured piece of shit."
Yeah, structure it better.
Most of them are for Devin, weirdly, but
yeah. And personal, not about the podcast.
Yeah, just get more structure in your life, you asshole.
Yeah.
Very quotable film.
I think so. I had 8 of those things.
I have 16, I think.
Okay, that sounds about right. And you could have had more if young Tigner was there with you.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I deleted the one Marina quote that I had because I already brought it up. It was he's got autism. He definitely has autism.
Down syndrome. Yeah.
I do have one me quote.
A staple. I think I have 8 to 10 because I think a couple of them are paired together.
Okay. You kick it off.
My first one of my first 4 I'll do right now is when he sees that dog in the store, he goes, "Hi, doggy."
Pats it on the head and just walks out.
Yeah. This is from the mom in an interaction with her daughter, one of the many times that happened. So she goes, "So I got the results of my test back. I definitely have breast cancer." And then the daughter's just like, "Don't worry about it."
Everything goes wrong all at once. Nobody wants to help me, and I'm dying. You're not dying, Mom. Oh, I got the results back. I definitely
don't worry about it. Chill. When Denny, right after when he's getting screamed at on the rooftop after his life flashed before his eyes, he goes screaming in such a dork way. He goes, "Stop ganging up on me!" And my last one for right now, Tommy comes in. He kind of overheard some of the talk between, I think it was Lisa and
Michelle.
her mom. I don't know.
Mm.
He goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, "It's girl talk. I just told you that." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's stupid of
Yeah.
me.
So those are my 4 for now.
Okay. Here is one. This is Lisa talking to Johnny. He comes home all sad, and she's like, "Did you get your promotion?" He goes, "Nah." And she goes, "You didn't get it, did you?" Like,
He
he
just
just said no.
Yeah. Idiot.
So stupid. The breast cancer one you took. Where is this one? I thought I had one. Oh, this is right after that. "I'm sorry you're upset, honey. Do you want me to order a pizza or anything?" And he's like, "I don't care. Do whatever you want." "Well, I already ordered the pizza."
And his face lights up.
He was happy. Yeah, very happy
Yeah.
about it. This is Mark and Johnny going back and forth. Mark goes, "How was work today?" "Oh, pretty good. We got new client and the bank will make a lot of money." "What client?" "I cannot tell you. It's confidential." "Oh, come on, man. Why not?" "No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?" We just rumbled right into that.
Straight from the novel, I bet.
Probably.
He's a writer.
This was one from the end where they're having their party and fucking Johnny just goes, "Thank you, honey. This is a beautiful party. You invited all my friends. Thank you." I was like, was she gonna invite not friends? Was she just gonna invite strangers?
How sincere. Apparently Ginger just threw up a Cheez-It. I don't know why he was eating those. Fucking hell, Ginger. You okay? You okay?
Is he doing that classic cat back arch thing?
I don't know what happened. Oh well, we can diagnose the cat later.
This is one when Mike is like, Denny, this is when they're playing football or whatnot in the hallway, and Denny comes up and they're talking. He's like, "Do you want to go do something?" And he goes, "I have to go see Michelle in a little bit to make out with her." I was like, nobody says that.
He wants people to know.
There's a terrible scene where Lisa tries to make a sober man drink alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
"If you'll love me, you'll drink this." And he goes, "You're right. This tastes good." She goes, "I know I'm right. Don't worry about those fuckers. You're a good man. Let's drink and have fun."
Yeah, what a lady. Who wouldn't throw their life away for Lisa?
And my last one for right now is Lisa talking to her mom. Her mom says, "At least you have a good man." And she goes, "No, you're wrong about him. He's a bad man. He didn't get the promotion. And he drank last night. And he hit me." I was like, you should do those in opposite orders.
Yeah, descending order instead. Yeah.
He's a bad man. He didn't get the promotion. Okay, who cares?
And he hit me.
And and he hit me.
I don't care.
Don't hit me.
All right, my final 4. I don't think you stole any of mine. This is like a double one here. I think from who's the guy, the sex guy?
Mike?
Michelle? Yeah. Well, they're tossing the football outside. He goes, "I've got a little bit of a tragedy actually on my hands," which is a funny way to lead into saying that Paulette saw his underwear. And in that same vein, he goes, "She's showing everybody me underwears." I was like, "Are you Irish? Are you?" I didn't know that was part of it.
Showing everybody me underwears.
Yeah, that was weird. The mom at one point in another argument with Lisa says, "You can't live on love. You need financial security." And I said, "I know a Mr. Bon Jovi who would disagree with you." Got a lot for love. The character
You give
we don't
love a
know
bad
the name
name.
of, precisely. The character we don't know the name of, when he discovers Lisa and Mark making out at the party, the most store manager voice of all time. He goes, "What is going on here?" when he stumbles in there.
Clean up on aisle 7.
Yeah, and then when he's like kind of confronting her about the morality of her choices, he goes, "Yeah, how can you do this?" Like a big long one.
Just completely baffled.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Then my last one here is from Mark when they're in their big climax, and Johnny goes, "I'll kill you," and then Mark goes, "You couldn't kill me if you tried."
And I have the rest of that because
Yeah.
this keeps coming up. He's like, "You betrayed me. You're not good. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip."
It was like the Arrested Development chicken thing.
But that chip, chip, cheap thing happened like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're referencing on Arrested Development. I would wager. It was such an odd iteration of a chicken noise.
But they're right about the same time frame.
Arrested Development was like 05.
I thought it was 03.
I think it's 05. Let me check. You might be right.
03.
03 to 06. And maybe they just on the money.
Maybe that's just what chickens sounded like back then.
I think you're right, yeah.
So yeah, you took one of mine there. Let's see. This is Mark yelling at the unnamed man after he kind of walked in on him. He goes, "You don't understand anything, man. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket."
Yeah, what a dumb phrase.
This doesn't mean anything. This is Lisa on the phone with Mark. "I miss you." He goes, "I just saw you. What are you talking about?" She said, "I just wanted to hear your sexy voice.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about your warm hands wrapped around my sexy body."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Where's Johnny?" She's like, "He's in the shower." Like right next to you? Yeah.
Yeah. Classic one. "You are tearing me apart, Lisa."
Yeah.
And then he shoves her.
Yeah.
Mark's having an emotional breakdown on the roof also right after this. Goes, "I did not hit her. I did not hit her. No, I did not. I did not hit." Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah. The two classics right there.
And yeah, they're back to back. This is when they're talking about Peter about Mark's new married girl that's super mysterious, and he's like, "Well, can I meet her?" And he says, "I don't think so. It's an awkward situation." And Johnny just goes, "You mean she's too old, or that I will take her away from you?"
Yeah, and then he laughs like how I fake laugh. Yeah.
Jumps to the conclusion that he's sleeping with an 88-year-old married woman or something. Okay. This is right at the end of the movie. "You can come out now, Johnny. She's gone." It's just Lisa talking about her mom, and he goes, "In a minute, bitch."
Yeah, that's
Who are you
great.
calling a bitch? You and your mother, you bitches.
Yeah, why not?
My last one from the movie is somebody comes up. Oh, this is when Michelle catches them sleeping together, or like catches them making out when they're shirtless. And she walks up to him. She goes, "Hey, Mark, XYZ." And he goes, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Examine your zipper." I was like, is XYZ a common?
I think it was, honestly, back then. That sounded right. Sounded like she hit it out of the park right there.
She said it with a lot of confidence, so I'm guessing so. But like, I was like, I don't
San
know.
Francisco gang talk.
Exactly. And my last one is my me quote. This is just, like I said, when Michelle and Mike are exchanging cakes before they go outside and then come back and eat cake again.
Yeah.
They're putting cake in each other's mouth and they're eating it. But Mike gets the cake in his mouth and just starts going. I was really mad about it because, like, out loud, I went, "Chew with your mouth closed, you fucker!"
You fucking freak! Yeah, I
Super
remember.
pissed.
He ate with his mouth open too.
Really
Probably
upset
a
about it.
directorial choice.
Probably. That's all my quotes. A lot of them. How about you?
That's all
You
mine,
good?
baby.
Okay. All right, you're up 2-0 right now in the
Come on,
budget.
Seth.
So let's see if you can pull it out on the ratings time.
Unless he comes in here swinging on a vine.
Swinging his dick around, gets 4 in a row on a vine.
Wow, we're not even here. He's a legend.
Thermometer.
Surprised you'd ask me this, Brandon. I'm gonna say a 38%. Critics are gonna not shine as lightly on this. 38.
I'm surprised you answered that, Lucas. It's a 26.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. But what about audiences on Rotten Tomatoes?
This thing's gonna be a 73.
It's only a 47.
Still split down the road.
Yeah, I was a little shocked at that. Then we're making our way to IMDb. Metascore out of 100.
Yes, I'm surprised you'd ask this as well. I'm gonna say a 2.9.
29.
Yep.
Just a 9.
0.9.
0.9.
Wow.
9 out of 100. Yeah, I'm surprised you answered that again. We're keeping each other on our toes. And then audience score out of 10. If you wouldn't mind.
Ask this.
The audacity for you to ask me this question right now.
I'm gonna say a 46%.
4.6 to 3.6.
Shit. I was never even that close.
You were never within 10. Yeah.
10 was the closest. Okay. What are the averages there, Brando?
Critics gave it a 9 and a 26. Total of 35. Okay. That's a 17.5.
Okay.
And audiences 3.6 and 47. That's going to be a 41.5.
Okay.
17.5, 41.5. What do you think?
I don't know. But I will say, I think the production value of this surprisingly was up above a lot of the schlocky dumb shit movies we normally watch. I thought this was a better looking, better sounding movie than Birdemic, than Velocipaster, than
Love on a Leash. What's another?
Cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's another one we've done? Talking Cat.
I mean, it's probably on par with Everybody Loves Mel, maybe even a little better than that.
Production wise?
Production value wise, yeah. Which I think
Leprechaun 4
hurts its case for something like this. That
it does.
That it's not bad enough to be interesting on that aspect. I think the only bad enough to be interesting aspect is Tommy Wiseau, just because he's such an alien sort of figure in the movie. So I'm going to give it a 3.1 on the lasagna scale.
Yeah, I like that. I was kind of wrapping my brain around what I was going to give it, but I 100% agree with you that we've done these films up to this point where they are so bad that they're, and I mean, this definitely fits into the bad, it's good kind of category. But some of those, when they have such low production values, such low budgets, you can tell what they have to spend their money on and what they can't. So some of the bad things about it are things that they were out of their control. Yeah, and more pronounced, which means this movie had those opportunities. It just did not capitalize because it was higher budget.
Instead of being interesting bad, it was boring bad, I thought, outside of Tommy.
Yeah. So I am probably right around you. I think I'm like a 3.6.
Okay.
3.1, 3.6.
Yeah, because there are enjoyable laugh out loud at it moments. But...
I laughed a lot. I asked myself, what the fuck is this? And I think it's like, this is a great film for us to do on this podcast. I didn't hate myself while watching it either. I did not hate being alive like I did with Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah, you can get through it.
But there are a lot of errors.
Palatable. Yeah.
Palatable. Yeah. Yeah. You want to hear some reviews?
Tickle me, Brandon.
3 critics. The first one is ifc.com, Internet Film Community. I don't know what the C is.
National
But
Finance Corporation?
no, that's definitely not it. This finance group was like, wow, he was such a good banker.
Yeah, he was.
they got into the intricacies of banking.
But
I have
go ahead.
no writer on it, but ISC.com says Wiseau's speaking voice is like Borat trying to do an impression of Christopher Walken playing a mental patient.
I think it was the most interesting part. Yeah,
It's
I
so
can't figure out what the fuck IFC
peculiar. Let's just stick with the
International
banking
Fisheries
one.
Commission.
No, let's do the banking one.
Okay, banking.
The International Fed. What was it?
Finance Corporation.
That's it.
Independent Film Channel. Goodness, took us a while.
Channel. See.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Next one is by The Guardian. They say a mix of Tennessee Williams, Ed Wood, and R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet.
3 interesting convergence points.
Another canceled man, too.
Yep. Ed Wood was kind of an odd figure as well.
Have you ever seen all of Trapped in the Closet?
I probably only like 2 hours worth. Is that all of it? Isn't there like 8 hours worth of it?
I think there's like 4 now.
I watched a lot of it. Yeah.
There's like 40 videos.
It's art.
That are all like 3 minutes long, 4 minutes long, 5.
It's art.
It is art. I actually really enjoy it. And my last critic review is by Adam Rosen at The Atlantic.
Sure.
And he says, should gloriously terrible movies like The Room be considered outsider art? The label of outsider art has traditionally applied to painters and sculptors, but it's hard to see why it couldn't also refer to Wiseau or any other thwarted, unself-aware filmmaker.
It makes a lot of sense. I think we've said James Wynn was an outsider filmmaker before too. I think that's a valid claim. If you don't know what movies are and you make a movie, that's going to be an interesting go of it.
Yeah, you've never dabbled in any of this, and you're producing your own film. Like even like there are some bad ones that we've done. Like take Liar Liar Vampire for example. It's produced by Nickelodeon, so they've at least got someone there that can tell them right from wrong.
I'm sure there's like a person on set that says like, no, the children can't be under like dangerous axis or something. Whereas there's something like this, they're all looking around at each other saying, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, Wiseau financed it all himself so he could have the creative justices in it. So
he's a crazy guy.
Yeah. All right. And then user reviews. Classic 7. First is The Little Songbird.
Aww.
I've got a lot of returners because this is
married.
Oh, she is.
Is she?
To Seth.
Yep. Congrats.
Congrats, Seth and Bethany. June 19th. Sethany, nice. June 19th, 2011, she says, I've seen a lot of bad movies. Some have novelty value, some are guilty pleasures, and some are downright atrocious. As inept and appalling as The Room is, for me it belongs in the unintentionally funny, complete train wreck category. The film, in my opinion, is quite badly made. The story is thinner than a sewing thread. The direction is one of the most inept directing jobs I've encountered in recent years. And the film in its pace is painfully slow in many spots. Tommy Wiseau is a big reason why The Room is so bad. He shows little talent for writing or directing, while his acting fares even worse, as I can't remember a single moment when he didn't make me cringe. All in all, a truly inept film. Might have some novelty value, but even that can't hide how appalling The Room is. 1 out of 10.
So she didn't get it.
I mean, she did. She mentioned everything we've already said, but she just couldn't justify anything higher than a 1.
She keeps her ratings pretty strict, I think.
She does.
She dies?
But I didn't say she dies. She does. She dies.
She dies.
Next is by a returner. I've only used him a couple times. Mr. Fusion.
Ooh, superhero.
March 12th, 2016, he says, if you boil this movie down to its base elements, Johnny loves Lisa. Lisa cheats on Johnny. Why does she? Not really sure. It's not like he deserved it, really. I mean, he's a super nice guy. He's not the best looking guy, but she didn't seem to have a problem with it earlier on. And the rest of the movie is just Lisa being a galactic hussy. 8 out of 10.
Now he gets it.
He's a big Johnny fan. He's a nice guy. He's not that bad look.
It sounds like a guy who just got his heart broke.
Really does. He's not that bad looking.
Yeah, what the fuck, hussy?
Next, Snoopy style.
This guy.
Let's see what Seth has to say about this.
Oh yeah.
I was scouring IMDb for Bevo. Every movie's a 10 or 7, and I couldn't find any of them.
I'm sure those are esteemed individuals, so
they don't stoop to stuff like this. Snoopy Style says, I hoped for a comically bad movie. This fulfills the need for being bad, but it's hard to laugh when the movie is flailing away like this. The plot is chaotic and disjointed. The writing is awful. There are story threads that go everywhere and nowhere. The dialogue is clunky, accentuated by the amateurish acting. The worst is Tommy Wiseau's outrageous bad overacting. He shocks me into laughing, and most everything else leaves me scratching my head. 2 out of 10.
I like the vivid imagery Snoopy got us there. Scratching his head.
Scratching, clunky, accentuated threads going everywhere, nowhere. It is a very visual.
Good job, Seth.
Yeah. Next is by Hey Sweden. This is a returner. I've used them once before.
Wow.
They said November 30th, 2022. Writer, producer, director Tommy Wiseau plays Johnny, an unlikely bank executive who dotes on his younger fiancée Lisa. But the selfish and scheming Lisa has fallen completely out of love with him after 7 years, and she starts to think exclusively about number one. Now, thinking that she loves Johnny's best friend Mark, she sets out to seduce him. And despite the advice of others in their circle, she's in absolutely no rush to tell Johnny the truth. One can believe that Wiseau started this effort with serious intentions, trying to examine the importance of trust and transparency in relationships and friendships. But the silliness of the plot and dialogue just sink the whole thing. A poorly made clunker with a hilariously melodramatic music score and a couple of really bad songs, The Room is ideal viewing if one is in the mood for a lot of laughs and has a lot of beers at the ready. It's that daft. 5 out of 10.
Daft. Nice. I think that is a good point. That gives it away. Was like meant to be a serious thing that went wrong. It's about like a guy getting cheated on and then killing himself. It's not like there are birds flying out of the sky or there's a velocipaster, or the dog is marrying a lady. This is like pretty serious material.
Or there's a cat that needs to find his collar.
If he had the vampire thing in there, then you'd be like, oh, he figured it out.
100%. I did like that they that she or whoever Hey Sweden really dove into a potential theme of trying to examine the importance of trust and transparency in relationships and friendships. Like I said, the idea is there. The execution is not.
Like the 1-page outline is there. Yeah.
Yeah. You gave an amazing outline. The rough draft and the final draft, not so good. You're You're going to be an English teacher,
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah. So, and I like this one too because it's an ideal viewing of somebody who's in the mood for a lot of laughs and has like a lot of beers at the ready. That's just kind of the mantra of this podcast, anyway. So
that's you.
That's me. Job. Yeah, on the job, drunk as hell.
They're ready.
Next, Cosmasp.
I like this guy.
Oh, you've changed, huh?
Every week.
He's growing on you. January 17th, 2018, Cosmas said, I wanted to see this before going into Disaster Artist. More on that movie on its own page. Now, before watching Disaster Artist, I was thinking rating this a 1. Then I was like, 1 sounds too much. So bad it's actually good. So I decided to go with a 2. And after Disaster Artist and some background on certain things, I'm willing to go for a 3. Why, you may ask? Well, if you watch this with a couple of friends or strangers, this can be quite the experience. It's not about quality here, but about an experience with others about a really bad movie that was meant to be a drama. Well, I guess it's still a drama, but not in the conventional sense. You can obviously just watch just highlights of this, but you'll never know how really bad it is if you don't watch it fully to get the full experience of things. 3 out of 10.
I liked the behind the curtain look at Cosmasp's rating system.
And how it grew. The movie
Yeah.
didn't really grow on him, but
He
the ideas for his
had a
rating.
different idea.
Yeah. Penultimate. This is a short one by Matthews Silver Hammer. I think I've used them once too. December 20th, 2017. He says, I was going to write an all-American review for this movie, but I did not. I thought it better just to keep my stupid comments in my pocket. 8 out of 10.
What a phrase. I'm going to start saying that too. Keep it in your pocket, kid.
But like, Matthew Silverhammer didn't say anything. He's like, I was going to write this review, but I decided not to. 8 out of 10. Like, yeah. Cool. We got a score. Thanks, buddy. And my last one is by Bold Pie _07.
I'm on edge already.
January 2nd, 2020, they say, Tommy Wiseau's acting is on point. The story is refreshing and has various twists and turns. The characters are interesting and have personalities, very unlike The Godfather. Best movie ever made. 10 out of 10. ... Please help me. 10 out of 10.
What a weirdo. We need to help him.
We do. Like, I was wondering if he's like being held hostage and somebody's making him do it a 10 out of 10.
Otherwise, you wouldn't say it's better than The Godfather, would you?
No. I think
like the brain.
I think there's like
the irony poisoned.
I think Seth there's like 4 films that are highly regarded as like the best film of all time. You get Godfather, Godfather Part 2, Shawshank, and Citizen Kane.
It's a good top 4. Yeah, and not The Room.
The Room's usually not in there, but it's usually like top 10. It's like a cusper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it got a vote for the Sight and Sound Top 250 from a director.
Really? But that's going to end it this week. Are you recommending this film?
I think so. Just as the sort of bread of the bad movie sandwich landscape.
Yeah. You have to go to archive.org/d/details/the room _012911 though.
You do have to do that. And it's very grainy.
It is very grainy. You can barely even see the titties. So
unfortunate.
And I think I'll probably I think I'm going to recommend it too. It's borderline, but it's 2003. It's watch it with someone.
If you're doing like a bad movie film class, this is in the curriculum, even if it's not our favorite per se.
Yes, it is as a standard. If you are looking for a good bad movie, this is where you should go. Kind of genre defining. If you're looking for a movie to watch for the Oscars tonight, probably not. I told Marina, I was like, I've watched 3 back-to-back Oscar films in 30 hours, and then I watched this. 30 hours?
Probably a little frightening, to be honest.
I was like, oh, that was weird. But if you're sitting down and you just want to kind of watch with some friends or someone and just kind of bullshit about it and have fun, this is a movie for you. So I'll recommend.
Echo.
We're going to echo that. And that is going to end it this week.
For this week. We did it. I didn't think we'd do it.
Oh, yeah, I was shocked. I'm surprised you asked me that.
Yeah.
Next week. I also here, Lucas, look at this. I'm going to turn my camera. I've got a whiteboard up in here.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Got all of the films written on it for what's coming up next.
When's Ishtar?
So Ishtar is coming. We are recording on April 9th.
Okay. Quicker than you imagined.
Shit. That's the weekend that Marina's mom's here. I might have to flip that. It might be the 16th.
Okay. As long as
I
we
might
get to watch
just
Ishtar.
we will, but I need to confirm that if we're switching it with Seth at least, so that we can
And Robert.
communicate with Robert. Yeah. So maybe it won't be flopped. We'll see.
But next week, we have
Monster Trucks.
written by a 5-year-old.
And then we've
So
got
the legend goes.
an April Fool's episode. Wait.
Yeah.
No, that's when they come out. Or is that when we record? What the hell? What's today?
The 12th.
The 12th. The Room. Okay. So The Room, Monster Trucks. Yeah. Okay. No, we are recording on 4/9, so I might have to switch things around. Potentially.
Okay, that's chill.
As long as we're doing it. And we will. I promise
He promises.
You'll get your Elaine May. So that's gonna end it here. Watch the Oscars tonight. I'm saying this a week late, but do it anyway.
Yeah. We might
you
get them all right.
bitches. We might. There might be a bonus content thing that we do tonight with the Oscars and
May
follow.
check in on Seth.
Someone check in on him. We can't. We're
We'll
too
try
busy.
to.
But
yeah.
Also, if you're following us on Anchor or anything, or listen to our outro all the time where it says follow and like us on Anchor or leave us a voice message, it's not Anchor anymore. It's not called that. It's now called Podcasters.
Podcasters, gross.
By Podcasters by Spotify, or Spotify for Podcasters. So you have to look it up that way. Yeah. So
gross.
I probably should say that out there. It updated this week. So with that, that's going to end it. 2 hours. We did it, Lucas.
Wow.
Seth really does add 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He really does.
Sense.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Boy. Good word.
Boy?
No, loquacious. He.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. He
is
a great word.
Pronoun.
And with that, we'll see you next week.
Kadoosh.
Love you. Bye.
Sweet.
Good work.
Easy, light work. It's a lean
Easy
night.
money.
So I'll probably send you my ballot. I don't know. Do you want me to do that, or just keep track of me and Alex's on our own?
You guys can keep track on your own.
Okay. They start at 6?
Yeah, I think so. ABC.
Okay.
I'll see if Seth is even able to make it.
Okay. I think Alex is talking to Marina right now, but I'll probably jump in on some Skype call closer to 6.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be here.
See you, pimpin'.
Later, pimpin'. Pimp.